So you guys think it's down to the left? Is that where?
That's what I thought I saw. Yeah, behind the trees.
Behind those trees?
Yeah,
okay.
It was in A yesterday, so they move it to B today.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Mark. This is Mark Orton Disc Golf, and I'm out at one of the busiest courses in the country. This is Morley Field in San Diego, one of the oldest courses and one of the busiest courses. Already played 2 holes, very blind. I had to get off before a couple of other cards teed off, and so I'm out here just kind of playing, doing a solo round. I've got a solo card in front of me. He's just finishing up this hole. Once he finishes up, we'll shoot this hole. So both of the first ones were blind, 214 foot shots, parred both of them, and really I had no idea where the basket was on either one of them when I threw. I just knew general direction based off of U-disc, but they moved the pin locations all the time, and so I wasn't sure that's where it actually was going to be. All right, this one's 331. It is right down in the middle. All right, so I threw my DD1. I hit right up here, but it looks like it went down into the ditch down here. It does play as casual, there's no water. Beautiful morning, San Diego. Wet grass, but other than that, nice day. It was 58 degrees when I got in the car. All right, hole 4 out here is 290, down, turnover shot, back up to the right. I think I'm gonna go with something pretty flippy. I think the Origin is probably the right play on this one. Do you have somebody in front of me? He just teed off right before I walked up here, so we're gonna give him some time to finish this one out, and then we'll get started. All right, he just yelled all clear, so we're gonna try and turn something over. It's got a good amount of turn, but it might be a little far. Oh, we'll see. Okay, so I definitely drove it too far, hit this tree, and it fell down here. That's okay, it had a good amount of turn. I actually liked it. We'll go up here, see if we can get somewhat close. All right, under the basket, should be a par. Hole 5 is a downhill shot, 389, faded off. You've got the big tree sticking up out here. You've got to get down by the big tree around. There's a bunch of bushes that come out. So you've got to go something pretty straight, drive it out there, have it fade, or go pretty high and have it crash in. Got some people right now pitching over those bushes. So confirmation that's where it is. Okay, knowing that I've got to go pretty far to the right and I don't want to fade out too early or I'll be in the bushes, I'm going to throw this Gannon Buhr Q-Line DD3. I'm going to go out, try and go out over the bushes on this right hand side and then have it crash back in. That looks really nice. Might be a bit deep. So I walk down here looking for my disc and these guys are like, dude, you parked it, baby. And I am, I don't know, 12 feet. I will take that bird. Hole 6, 320, uphill. Got to go pretty much over this bush. With it being uphill, I think something like the Sphinx that will pop up and ride pretty straight is good, and I probably want to put it a little bit to the right, knowing that going uphill it's probably going to have a tendency to fade rather than turn. 320 uphill, still need to get some good pop behind it. We'll see what we do. Oh, I got way more turn out of that than I thought I was going to going uphill. Okay, so distance-wise, absolutely a perfect shot. I mean, we are pin high, just I don't know, 40 to the right. Content. Hole 7, 296. Tight gap. You got these dead trees here that serve as kind of gatekeepers right off the bat. But then it's not exactly easy. You could go a high line with something that skips and gets down low. You could go low line with a turnover. There is a very small straight gap, but that's a little bit touchy. I think that probably the easiest play is a little bit of a turnover down the middle, but you play with that tree that's down there. So something that hyzer flips up with a late turn is probably the best. Or if you feel really confident on your backhand with a little bit of fade at the end, going kind of straight down through the right gap could give you a good one. So had a good line, just put it a little high. So I noticed that since the last time I was out here, there are some new tee pads, and if we look right over here, we're actually putting in another new tee pad right there. So work being done, and that's awesome. All right, nothing wrong with where I ended up. Nice straight alley right on up there. So I'm just gonna take the watt and just pitch it up just lightly. And not as close as I'd like it to be, but it'll get the job done. All right, about a 15 footer, maybe a little outside of 15 feet. Down the par. Hole 8, slightly uphill, 311, under the big tree back there where those guys are walking up to. So this one should be a relatively easy one. Something going pretty straight, maybe just a slight turn would be great. I think that for me, the hex should be a good disc for this. We'll see. And while we're waiting, just look at these cool trees. I like just the look of these trees. Check this one out here. It's very cool. They're finishing up right now. Once they're done, we'll tee off. They had a tree, they had a disc stuck in a tree. I don't think that they got it down. Oh, that was not great. Not great at all. First real misfire of the round. Just didn't quite do it. Go low here. I think I want to go a little bit higher. Give this one a little bit of a chance. Right under the basket. Alright, hole 9 is 340. Looks like straight down through there. Could probably go wide, have something bounce, or just go straight, drive it, and see. I don't actually see the basket, so I'm watching where these guys are playing too. Oh, that looked so good until it hit the tree. Had I kept that lower, it would have been a lot better. Just not exactly sure what the right play is here. Maybe a forehand flex through this side. That will work. Parked. zone got me nice and close. We'll tap in. Hole 10's in a completely different location, at least where the pin is, than last time I was here. Last time it played down the alley over here, where I was kind of thinking it was going to be tight because the basket that I was just playing to is down there, and I was waiting for these guys to tee off. But they teed off throwing this way, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. But the basket is up here. There's actually a hard left and then an alleyway that goes down. So they threw a high spike hyzer up here. That might be the play. The problem is you definitely want it to land in a pretty narrow area. Yeah, I don't know much that I'm gonna throw that's gonna stay low enough. So it may just have to be something high, let it crash in. This is not a throw that I normally throw. There are a couple of places out in Oklahoma that I throw a pretty big over the top spike hyzer. This one's a little bit different though because of how far it turns. I think what I need to do is from here pretty much go straight up over these trees with it being pretty flat, and then let it get a little bit of ground and then crash in. Problem is, if I really launch it, this could be over that fence that's back there pretty quickly. Guess we'll find out in a minute. We'll see what we can do here. See how dumb this play is. Ooh. All right, hit a tree. It fell into the fairway. All right, so actually a little bit higher probably would have been the play, because I hit something up here and it fell pretty much straight down. I'm gonna go with the zone. Under the basket. Okay, actually not under the basket. I was way shorter than I thought I was. Interesting. A little bit of a tester here. But I got it. Stay bogey free. Hole 11 is off of this tee pad that's elevated. You've got some bushes that you've got to make sure you stay high enough to get over. And then it is just dead straight out there, 285. They're pitching up to it right now. But something that goes as straight as possible is really the answer. With it being 285 and as downhill as it is, something like either the hex or the watt could be perfect. I really like the watt for this play. Maybe that's what I'll go with. Maybe a little. It should be just about parked. All right, a few more feet would have made this a little bit easier, but definitely a good birdie look. Take that. Hole 12 is an interesting one. All of these holes out here have multiple pin locations. This one is a little extreme. 10 different pin locations, and it's on pin location I today, which is up and to the right. So something that gets up there and then gets a turn. Problem is you got to get over all these bushes, so you got to have height, which takes away the ability for a lot of different discs to turn, and you don't want it to turn too early or too aggressively. I'm not exactly sure where the pin is up there. Looks like it's pretty far back, so we'll see. Like I said, 280 on this one. Once they finish up, we'll give it a go. If I had a really powerful flex forehand, that might be an awesome shot for this one. But we're gonna try this. We are gonna see what we can do here. Might have got a little bit of late turn, but it was pretty straight. All right, for not knowing where the location was, this is not horrible at all. I'm just gonna lay it up underneath. Go tap that in. Hole 13, 238. Through this gap, off to the right. This is definitely a nice forehand flick hole. Got these guys up here. I think they went a little straight, so they're looking for the disc. Could be pretty good. All right, I've got a little bit of a look, sort of. Not an easy one. Let's see. There's nothing there. Nice birdie. Hole 14. Another one that's not that long, 220, but you've got to go over this fence. You've got this row of shrubs right in front of you. You have to go over. There's a tree dead straight out there that you ought to aim towards, and then there's a gap, a diagonal gap between that tree and another big tree that you need to hyzer into. And so that's kind of the play. I think with it being 220, Envy is the obvious play. Aiming straight out towards that one, hoping that it fades. Not exactly sure where the basket is, but we'll find out when we get down there. Well, that looked really nice. And that was a nice shot. Got me about 10 feet. Another birdie. Hole 15, 245, up around this group of trees. So it's on the backside, up on the hillside. So you want something that's going to go push a little bit and then have good fade. We'll see.
I think I figured out the tomahawk. That's fucking dope. Okay, I understand why people like tomahawk.
For another blind shot, and really not knowing exactly where the basket was, this ended up being an amazing shot. Another birdie. That's 3 in a row. Hole 16, 260. I think it's straight across. Got those guys down there at that bush trying to get a disc out, which they just got out. I believe it's right behind there. So I gotta be honest, with the way it went around that bush, clipping the bush, and then the ground play they got over here, it had to have been really close to hitting this. And that's 4 birdies in a row. Hole 17, 192 feet. Tunnel, lots of trees around it. Every time I've been here, it's been deep. This one's actually pretty short, 192 feet, as I said, but hard off to the right. So I think a forehand with something like the FD3, super overstable, keep it low, try and get that flare skip. It's about the best shot I've got at trying. We'll see. Not exactly my go-to, but we'll give it a shot. Oh, that was actually pretty nice. All right, for me, for a forehand skip shot, that wasn't bad, but it came in pretty early. I needed to push it a little bit longer. Now I'm left with this putt for the birdie chance. It's okay, it'll be a par. This is hole 18, but it's not the final hole. There are actually 19 holes on this course. This one, 281. It's going to be a flex forehand down through, and it is behind that big tree down there. So you want something that's definitely going to push out, flex, but then come back. Still deciding what I want to go with. I think I'm going to go with the DD2. Try and flex this out there. T-pad's kind of damp right now. See what we can do. If I hadn't hit that branch, that probably would have been pretty good. All right, not bad. Definitely, if it hadn't clipped that branch, it probably would have had more and flexed a little bit better. But then again, it could have been over there and I could have been blocked a little bit more. So we're just gonna lay this one up. Should be good. All right, par. 19th and final hole. You're inside of like this batting cage here, so that all the crossing routes, there are several crossing routes here. You have one coming down from kind of in front of us. You got one that goes across diagonally in front of us, and then you've got one that goes to a pin right behind us. So it's nice that this is blocked off, lets you focus on the shots you want to do. Last hole here, 385 uphill. I think I want to go DD1. Not bad. I left myself out a little bit further than I would have liked to. That's okay. That should be makeable. All right, about a 15-footer to finish up. And that is a bogey-free round. That is a great round out here. 6 under. Let's see what that, for me, I believe that's definitely the best I've done out here. Let's see what UDisc says that one is rated at. 225. So 950 rated round approximately. Good round. Let's go walk over here and talk. Just finished up my round out here. Every time I come out here and I play it, I love this course. It's got a mix of different holes, and with the pin locations changing all the time. I think Monday morning is when they change them, so this is different than what it was even yesterday for people that were out here. It's just a cool place to come, experience slightly different course every time you're out here, and you know, it does get busy. Remember that, it does get busy. The first time I came out here, I had to wait a half hour. I got put on a card with 4 other people, and I had to wait a half hour for people to tee off in order to get started. So definitely gets busy. Plan your day around that, but first thing Monday morning, definitely a good time to come out. All right guys, I hope you enjoyed Morley Field. Cool place out here. Played pretty well today, and yeah, if you guys have places you want me to go check out, leave them in the comments down below. I love the comments, I love the feedback. Keep meeting people out on the course that want to know what I'm doing, and the video camera definitely gets a little bit of interaction going, which is kind of cool. But having a lot of fun out here doing this. I know that the views aren't high, I know that the subscriber count isn't high, but hey, I'm having fun doing it, so that'll come or it won't, whatever. See you guys next time.